just talking about old man problems. I hurt my back this week, and oh, it's been terrible. My wife's had to fill the wood boiler, and oh, it's been annoying.
Thankfully, she's a good sport.
Yep, for sure. So the last couple weeks have been pretty frustrating. One, we haven't worked on the Cummins build in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks, I think. I know. So that's been frustrating. We want to get on that. And honestly, if we would have had these 5 weeks to work on it, I think we'd be driving. We'd be driving it. So, but it is what it is. Stuff happens. The main reason that we have not been able to get to that build is because, let's see, White Truck broke its flex plate, so we had to go save that, which I don't know. We've got some footage of it. The camera cut out at some point, so maybe I'll put that in now. All right, so came out to recover the white F350, and as I pulled into the parking lot, I saw underneath the red truck a giant pool of transmission fluid, so that wasn't good. So I pulled it out of the parking lot and pulled it onto this little side street right over here. And there's a bypass line on the transmission that completely blew out. So I was basically losing all my transmission fluid. So ran home, got a new line for that because I happened to have one in my pole barn. Grabbed that line, drove all the way back with some tools, put that new line on, filled it up with transmission fluid, and now we're gonna try and recover the F350. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of just threw a few things into the back of my truck hoping that would work. So we'll see if we can get it with what we got. What else happened? The rear end in the red truck is starting to fail. We had to switch out the whole transmission for the red truck. The red truck's a 2000 F350, and it's got like 240,000 miles on it, so it was probably time for that anyways. And what else have we been? There's something else too, I feel like, but... And then today we're also going to do the... Oh yeah, then we were dealing with snow because we also do commercial snow plowing. So yeah, we've just been kind of battling some breakdowns and things like that, and we have 1 day a week to do this, so we had to put it towards fixing the truck so we can actually make money. I'm really excited to get back to the green truck, old Ranger over there. It's just been annoying. We're pushing through it as much as we can, and hopefully we can just get the red truck going and I don't have to think about it for a few months. So today we're going to rebuild the rear end, just the bearings.
Yeah, so we're going to do a somewhat unconventional rebuild. Maybe it's not that unconventional, but due to 240,000 miles, we are just going to do bearings and leave the shims factory, or as AJ said, who was in there last. We don't really want to wear it out prematurely by bringing the backlash too tight on a used ring and pinion, and maybe that's incorrect thinking, I don't know. But we're just going to set it up to the way it was. It didn't howl or hum. It worked good. We just have a pinion bearing failing. So we are just going to change bearings and set it back up. Axle shafts are out. Now it's time to get the carrier out and see what those bearings look like. Yeah, so this is the carrier bearings here. You can see they're failing for sure. Those are definitely junk. So not only is our pinion bearing going, but our carrier bearings going too. And this side's actually not terrible. This one's not too bad at all. So we got it all tore apart. Well, kind of tore apart. This is the pinion bearing, the outer pinion bearing. Not as bad as we thought. These marks here for me driving it out with the bearing still in it. Not as bad as we thought, but definitely worn. The real bad part was just like we showed you with the carrier bearings. You can see how badly that's coming apart. I think it's just a combination of age. So this probably was more of our noise here than the looseness of the pinion, but it was definitely loose. And not as bad as I expected, but still it needs new bearings. So we'll set it all up with fresh bearings, and it'll be a lot better. When you go to press your bearing on the carrier, we're going to set this down, but there's a lip here. This cage, the carrier for the bearing, or the rollers, if we just set this right on the plate, it's going to deform and crush that. So we take the old race, and we set our bearing on it, and then we'll set the carrier on that, and we'll press the carrier into that bearing. I already drove the outer or the front race out for the pinion. Need to drive the inner, there you go, the inner race out, drive the new races in, and we can put the pinion together and put it in.
Boom. Uh-oh. Is Tim's supervisor not watching him? I'll get crowbar.
Is it gonna fit?
Oh, put it the other way. Uh-oh. That's not what we want.
Okay, update. So, in typical fashion here, some of the parts we got wrong, which means we didn't finish again. The two outer carrier bearings were right, but the pinion bearings, the seal, there was no crush sleeve, nothing for the pinion was right. So we found out they gave us a Dana 80 rebuild kit, and we called and got the right one ordered, and of course it won't be in until tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, doesn't feel like we can ever finish a project in one day, but that is what it is. That's working on cars. So stay tuned and watch us finish something next week. We got the right bearings to put this rear end together, and that is the goal. Unfortunately, as said before, we only get 1 day a week to do this, and so when things don't go well, they sit for a week. But we got the right bearings. Here's one of them. We're warming up on top of the wood burner here to be able to press onto the pinion. We're going to get the bearings pressed on the pinion, the races pressed into the case, and get this rear end put together. Like we said before, we're not doing a super precise reassembly here because it's got 200,000+ on it. We're just fixing the old bearings. At some point, we're going to do a locker, a new ring and pinion. This bearing kit was only, what, $250, something like that. It's not bad. We just need to get this thing back on the road. This is his plow truck that we keep taking down for multiple reasons. And then it keeps going into limp mode. We put a transmission in it about a month ago, and it keeps going into limp mode. We got to figure that out, but my scanner won't connect to the PCM. It connects to everything else but the PCM, so we got to figure that out too. But once we can drag ourselves away from the nice warm flare, we'll get this thing assembled and get her back on the road. You saw we had the bearing sitting on top of the wood burner. This was my plan, but I actually didn't expect it to work. I know, right? This pinion's been sitting in that exact spot for the last week, and we put the bearing on the wood burner and let it get up to temperature to where we couldn't hold it with our bare hands. And we got ready to press it on, and it slid right on. And it did exactly what we want. The difference in heat, there 200 degrees difference between this and this. It slid right on without having to press it.
And now it's nice and tight.
And now it's nice and tight. So that's what we wanted, and that's what I was going for, but I just didn't expect it to work because it hasn't in the past. So
now can we drive the truck longer?
Let's go drive the truck. Yeah, right. Longer than a week.
That race right there, we're pounding that in right now, and then we'll do the outer one.
All right, so we're all cleaned up. Got all the goobers out of there. There's our new race going in.
That made it, moved it a bunch.
There it goes. Yeah, see, now it's going right in. There you go, right there. I would say we are ready to continue our rebuilding. I think we got all the garbage out of here. We've wiped it out, we sprayed it out.
We don't accept those terms.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yep, alright, so go ahead and push that bearing, the pinion in. Okay, and hold it right there.
Hold on, I'm pushing myself away.
Oh,
Okay, now I'm good.
Oh dude, that is fantastic. It literally just slid right on.
Make sure it's bottomed out.
Yep, it did. Yeah, because I go from 0 to 300 inch-pounds, and I need to register like 10. Or it's 20 actually, but feel that. Doesn't that feel nice? Has it come back around
Yep,
yet?
stop right there.
It still goes right in there.
You want to beat it with a hammer?
Nope. If you are, get the 20-pounder out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still just baffled to it went in so easy and then it just locked up.
I know. It's okay.
Okay, go ahead and smell them all. Almost no side-to-side play. I like that. Where's the little brush dealie at?
Right here. There you go. Not like that.
Yeah, I just basically gonna
Recoat them.
do brush strokes so we can actually see what the wear pattern
Yep.
is. I'm pretty sure it's not really gonna change, but okay.
You want me to put my hand on it again?
Yeah.
So we're gonna torque down the bearing cap bolts to 90 foot-pounds. We're gonna put Loctite on them. We're gonna get that cover back on, get some oil in there, and then we're gonna run it and see how it's doing. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna get that charged, and then we'll bring it back whenever I can do that.
As you saw a little while ago, we got all the bearings pressed in. We got the preload set on the pinion bearings. We didn't put the seal in at first just to make sure everything is where it needed to go. Got the seal put in, got the yoke put on, and everything is set. Took us a while to get the contact pattern on the gears where we wanted it, but being a used set of gears, it really didn't cooperate very well. We got it pretty much where it was, which is probably better, and at some point we'll do a whole new ring and pinion carrier, do a locker, just do everything. But we cleaned everything up, we got it all put together, got a nice layer of RTV on our cover here. Axle shafts are in, tires are back on. It's time to put the cover on for good, at least for another 6 months, and put some oil in her and let her roll. We
All right, jacket's going back on. I'm freezing.
we neglected to get oil for this, so we gotta run in and grab it. That'll give us a chance to warm up, and we'll bring you back then.
Let's get her filled up. So what we're doing is we're trying to get, since we had the axle shafts out, the hubs, each of those hubs hold like a cup of oil or something like that. And if you don't make sure those hubs are full of oil, you will burn them up. They'll seize up. It'll be very bad. So by doing this, we're overfilling the axle, and with that angle, it should fill that hub all the way with oil. And then we'll set it down, we'll make sure it's full, and we'll do the same thing on this side. And then once we know that both sides full, we'll go ahead and top this oil off here.
Alright, now we drive it. Well, we're moving at least.
Update, we are out test driving the red truck. We did the rear end in. It sounds amazing. No more howling, grinding. It feels good. I think there's a light groan or a light howl just because it's a used gear set, and I think they were set up incorrectly before we got in there. But it does not grind and grumble like it used to. It's really smooth, really nice. So we bought ourselves some time. We know that. We got to do something more permanent in the future. So definitely like, subscribe, check out some of our other videos. We got lots of cool stuff going on. Cummins swap in the 2010. We're going to be getting my Avalanche on here pretty soon, which is exciting. Still working on the 450, but just all sorts of crazy stuff. So definitely stay tuned. Check out our videos as they come out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.